Welcome to another episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained podcast, video, whatever you call it. But today we have our capital markets team with us. And, we had covered the listing side, the sell side, which is Kimberly residential sell side. We have Alvin in the buy side. And today we are very excited to be talking about the commercial side because it seems like the commercial party is the only one that is laughing away because of it not being affected by the 60% ABSD. So the previous time, when we talked to Justin, who is the commercial team lead of the capital markets team, we talked about what? HDB shophouses.
HDB shophouses.
Okay, so today, what are we talking about?
Shophouses again.
Wow, interesting.
But this time is the private shophouses.
I love it. The conservation shophouses, right? Okay, this whole thing about conservation shophouses, right? Everybody have seen the profits. But they don't know anything. A lot of the mass market individuals or retail investors don't know much about HDB conservation shophouses, right? Last session, you did a really good job on HDB shophouses. And we talk about your favorite animal, remember?
Butterfly.
That's right, butterfly. So this week, we're going to talk a little bit more about conservation shophouses and let's just be a little more lighthearted, right? So that we can make dull, boring real estate investments, which in our opinion is very exciting, make it more bite-sized so they can get to understand as well. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hello to you. And if you are watching and hearing us on podcast, welcome to the radio channel. All right, so without further ado, let's start. Okay, I'm going to ask you later also a bit more about the animal that you like. Because being, animals symbolizes a lot of things, right? Last time you said HDB shop is like a butterfly.
Then shophouses is still similar like a butterfly.
Then that is a very different kind of asset class already. Okay, come, let's talk about it. Yeah.
All right, so, the team. Recently, we have news about shophouse owners reaping large amount of profit.
Crazy.
Right, 16 million in 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and another one in 14 months, 4.5 million, right, at Bugis. That was back in 2022.
Wow.
And this one is the one more recent, which is March, just 2 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, owners are reaping huge amount of profits, right? So what exactly is a shophouse?
Absolutely. So the funny thing here is that one thing that we all know about shophouses is that shophouse is not encumbered by ABSD ruling. There is no such thing called the seller stamp duty, which means that you can flip it within a month or two or even a year, which is crazy not volatility, but crazy flexibility in terms of these asset classes. So tell me a little bit more about what actually is a shophouse, right?
Yeah, so
where the 7-Eleven and the shops are, is it, or what is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so shophouses where you flip, right? It's more applicable to those that are fully commercial. If you purchase a shophouse with residential component, similarly ABSD do apply, as a seller stamp duty also applies lah. So it's depend on which kind of shophouse you purchase based on what kind of zoning they are.
Yes.
Then so you have to take note on that lah.
Understand.
Flip lah.
Yes, got it. So what Justin is trying to explain is that, there's different kind of shophouses, right? So if there is a residential component up there, of course, ABSD ruling applies and then you have SSD as well. But today we will be most likely talking about the full commercial shophouses.
We're going through some of the different variants of the shophouses as well and roughly where they are.
Good. Let's talk about what a shophouse is.
Yeah. So actually, what's a shophouse? So actually, shophouses are built between the 1840s and the 1960s lah. Yeah. So they form much of our
pre-World War II history.
Yeah, pre-World War II history, the history of Singapore. So they're actually largely conserved, right, because of its rich history and heritage that they bring to Singapore. So actually, one of the more interesting feature of a shophouse is the 5-foot way, right? That you will see. So actually, the 5-foot way is also included in the land area.
Yes.
Yeah. When you purchase them, lah.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are basically it just preserve the rich heritage and culture of Singapore.
Absolutely. So there are 6,500 conserved shophouses in Singapore, which also a lot of our foreign buyers, recently we have been serving quite a number of Chinese national buyers who are, and Indo buyers, right, who are looking to buy shophouses because they want to own a piece of Singapore's history. And one thing about shophouses is that the government will not gazette any new areas for shophouses, rich in historical significance, no ABSD, and also no SSD for a fully commercial shophouse, which makes it very attractive, right? And okay, that's interesting. Tell me more. Yeah.
Yep. So why do people want to purchase shophouse as what you mentioned, right? So ABSD and SSD is not applicable for full commercial properties.
Yes.
And foreigners are eligible to buy this, unlike the residential properties, right? Yes. But they're only eligible to buy full commercial ones. I mean, those with like let's say later when we go through those that with first story commercial, the rest residential, then you have to get approval lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I heard about the LDAU approval, right? So what kind of commercial assets need LDAU approval?
Those that actually with residential is best to get LDA approval. There are certain zoning with, let's say, residential and commercial, but however, if it's predominantly a commercial property without much mercy, foreigners are still eligible to buy.
Understand.
But ultimately, you still have to check with the relevant authorities as well as the lawyers lah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so shop houses are limited in supply, as what you mentioned. There's no new, they will be not releasing any more new supply. And it's a very good alternative asset for your portfolio, especially if you hold, a lot of residential.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the new ABSD increase to about 60% or let's say 35 for locals.
Yes.
30 to 35 for locals.
Yes.
Yeah. So it can be another asset class to consider.
Yeah.
And then it has higher liquidity as well because of the SSD. It's not affected by the SSD compared to residential.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember that the news of the ABSD come out, we saw so many owners who said, please put the shop house on hold, we're going to increase by a few million.
Yeah.
Owners are also very apt real estate investors themselves, and they know that their asset class is positioned very well for the volatile regulatory frameworks in the residential market. And that's why you fell in love with commercial shop houses as well, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Right. So we'll be talking about the two different types of shop house districts here.
Yes.
So there are actually three in Singapore, right? We've got the historical, we've got secondary, as well as the residential.
Yeah.
But today, if we are talking about commercial, the main two are actually in the historical districts as well as the secondary settlement.
Great.
So, right, historical districts, we have areas like Boat Quay, Chinatown, Kampong Glam, Little India. Right, this area consists mostly of primary conserved shop house.
And these are historical districts because it actually enforces racial harmony where there's like specific areas that is predominant but for certain race, right? And I think this is what I love about the government, that, they conserve that part of history and they ensure that, these areas being conserved, you cannot really adjust or touch too much of the shop house because this is Singapore's rich heritage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we got those in the secondary settlement, right? You have them in Beach Road, River Valley, Jalan Besar, Geylang and Joo Chiat.
Yes.
So this area, owners can choose to either conserve your shop house or, can construct a rear extension.
Yes. Yeah. So there is a difference between primary and secondary conserved shop houses, right? And later on, we're going to share with you a little bit more about what is actually the real differences between that. So tell me more. I think this is a visual representation, right, of the shop house districts that we're seeing.
Yeah. So over here, these are the D1 and D2. So there's the Chinatown area, right? And the Boat Quay area. So they are, largely primary conserved, right? Over here, we have the one, we have a little bit of Little India as well as a part of Geylang Road.
Yeah.
So Geylang part will be in the secondary conservation. So down here, actually, we have Beach Road as well as Little India. They are also primary conserved. But visual image, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the left side is the example of a primary conserve.
Yeah.
So a shop house being carefully restored by a UIA's requirement.
Yes.
And then these on the one on the right, it shows like the front part of the shop house being conserved, right?
And then there's a rear extension.
There's a rear extension.
So the difference that we're seeing here is that primary conserved shop houses, you can't do a rear extension. Secondary conserved shop house, you have the potential to extend it with a rear extension, right? Yep. And fun fact, in the URA database, they actually keep all the footages of the original state of the shop houses, so that whenever owners were to do any touch up to the facade, they want to make sure the facade is not being, touch up too much in the way that the facade is being changed, right? Correct. And that's the reason why you are seeing a lot of the when you walk past primary conserved areas, right, as well as what you have discussed previously in the historic districts, they are all actually dated back in. There are always dates on the shop house, right? Whether 1940, 1980, 1964, which is amazing, right? And I love that. And fun fact, some reputable celebrities like Jackie Chan owns a very big corner conserved shop house as well, and now it's already converted into a fine dining restaurant. If you want to know which one it is, right, you can always ask us, we can share with you a little bit more here and there, right? So back to this entire thing, right, between primary and secondary conserved, right? Is there actually a big difference in demand, right, for primary and secondary conserved shop houses, right? And the second question I have, which potentially you're going to cover later on, is about the tenure of the shop houses, right? Not all shop houses are freehold. There are some 99, there's some 999, there's some 109 years, right? So later, let's talk a little bit more about this. So my first question is, any big difference in demand for primary and secondary conserved shop house, in your opinion, serving buyers on the ground?
So for primary conservation shop house, they are largely the demand will be largely more for foreign buyers, I guess, where they don't want to be so into the regulations. They just want to buy something that cannot be touched much, right?
Yeah.
So buy and hold,
Yeah.
right? For secondary settlement area, right, with residential, then you'll be like more of the local, or maybe those people that have they have knowledge in the construction, that they can do a rebuild, extension, A&A.
To increase the rentability of the place as well, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, which is, what is the rough rental? Because I know rental for conservation shop houses, right, is not good, right? It's very low yield, right, compared to fixed deposit, right? So, potentially in a good market for FDs, and even REITs can outbid the rental yield. So, what is the rough rental of a freehold shop house, conserved shop house, and also a 99 years conserved shop house? What's the rough percentage we're looking at?
I would say for 99, of course, we look for a higher rental yield. If not, no investors will buy it.
Yeah.
But for freehold one, we'll look at about 2%. But of course, it also depends on the usage of the shop house.
Yes.
Whether is it used as an office, a shop, F&B,
Yes.
a nightclub, bar,
Yes.
or hotel, right?
Yes.
Those will have a vast difference in the rental yield.
Yeah. So one of the key strategies the commercial team has to do will also be able to ensure that there's a potential change of use, and also think about how you can change of use to maximize the rentability and the rental yield of the property, right? But that being said, rental is not the key for shop houses, right? And actually, what's the key?
Capital appreciation.
Okay, so let's talk about the price growth of shop houses moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is
I was thinking 67.5%. I'm seeing 675%.
Yeah. So this is data being put out since 2003 to today, 20 years, right? How much our shop house has grown. So this is a mixture of 99, freehold, all the districts basically.
So most of the shop house prices on average have grown 6.7 times. Okay, so what it means here, right, is that if 20 years ago, I put a $10 million investment in a shop house. Right now, it's $67.5 million.
Yes.
It's insane, Can I share with you a story?
Yeah.
I had a granddad. My granddad, right, spoke to me in Hokkien and Chinese one day. He stays in MacPherson right now. He said, a boy, he called me boy, right? I have a shop house in Stanley Street. Wow. And I'm the only grandson.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll happily share with my cousin, right? And last time I only bought it for $60,000. I'm like, wow, Akong, you never tell me for a long time. Stanley Street now, I think some shop houses can range from $40+ million to $60+ million. And I said, Akong, wow, so 卖了吗？还是还没有卖？还是以后要卖？哦，卖了，卖了多少？卖了160千。Yeah.
That's how long?
I think that was at least 30 to 40 years ago when he sold it.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine? If you were to put $60,000 40 years ago, now it's going to be worth $60+ million or $40+. I think it's going to be about $60+ million. Yeah. So I really like how shop houses is such a viable asset class, but of course it's not accessible to all investors because we're talking about minimally in a secondary conserved shop house, right? How much are we looking at? Maybe 8 million?
Yeah.
8 million?
Range 8 million onwards.
To $60 million. If it's a row, it can be $120 to $200 million, right? Okay, come tell me more about the different zoning, right, for shop houses. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, in shop house, we have different areas. Like what you mentioned, 99 years, 999, freehold ones. We also have shop houses in different zonings, right? So we have, the one that is the most easiest without much approval or will be the full commercial shop house, which is in blue color. Yeah. So as you can see that this
dark
kind
blue,
of dark blue. So this kind of zoning, right, is used fully for commercial use. So there's no residential or there's no other usage. It's mainly for commercial usage.
And apparently for full commercial shop houses, right, if you want to do co-living on the upper floors, you can actually do so without it having to be a residential plot as well.
Yes, but this is subjected to
your area approval, definitely. So why don't you share with you a little bit more about how you can maximize rental yield, because we're seeing this is what our landlords do. And at the end of this video, we're going to share with you how you can save a buyer's stamp duty of 5% on average for, let's say we're talking about $60 million shop house, we're talking about that's like $800,000, and only pay 0.2% buyer's stamp duty, right? So if you stay till the end of the video, I think we're going to share with you this very good money saving hack if you're looking to buy shop houses as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So next up, what else?
So next we have the light blue one, right? So they are the commercial and residential zoning plots. So for this kind of plots, the residential will have to be on top of the commercial levels,
Yes.
right? And that the commercial side can only be 40% of the gross floor area.
Hear you. So ABSD, SSD for the residential arm?
Definitely.
So there will be an independent valuer that actually will value the residential part
Yes.
of the commercial houses. Okay, great.
Yep. And lastly, we got the pink sites, right? This can be found along like Tanjong Katong. This is one of the areas lah.
Yeah.
So they are actually residential with first story commercial only.
Yes.
So the commercial activities is only limited to the first story, and the rest has to be residential.
So there's always this huge confusion between the pink side and the light blue side. So in as simple as possible, right? What is the difference? The main difference?
Pink side only first floor commercial.
Yeah.
Blue side
Light
is 40%.
Okay, so if let's say light blue side, first floor residential
Cannot.
Why cannot?
Because the residential has to be on top of the
I
commercial.
understand. That's why you don't see any people staying on the first floor for shop houses, right?
Exactly.
Actually, there are some residential shop houses. So you don't get us wrong. You're going to see some celebrities staying in those.
Yep.
Those are fully residential,
Yep,
okay? Like Emerald here have some, Lorong 24A, Geylang will have some here and there. But what Justin sharing with you is commercial and resi means first floor commercial, 40% GFA can be commercial. So maybe first, second floor, but the third, fourth floor onwards, maybe has to mix it up a bit about residential. Okay, very good.
And plus, if you have residential on the ground floor, then your rental yield will not be as high for the shops.
That's the reason why we have a commercial team to maximize the rental yield. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's talk about the bias stamp duty and additional bias stamp duty.
Yeah, so these are some of the taxes that that
You have to
some
incur.
of you, some of you watching might be like to know of lah.
Yeah.
So basically, recently we also have the increase in the bias stamp duty. So for residential, it's about 6% now. So for commercial wise, it's actually 5%.
Yeah.
So this is a slight difference lah. So although there is an increase, last time it was 3%, now it's 5%, right? So for ABSD side, it will be still applicable whether you're buying as an entity or a trustee or as a foreigner if there is a residential component lah. For your shop house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some owners who actually own the shop houses under special purpose vehicles, not with the purpose of, wanting to sell it easily in the future, but because that is the only asset that the company owns. And you see some owners actually selling the shares of the company as well, right? And that's when you don't have to pay the full bias stamp duty, right? So a very astute commercial investor and a very astute commercial broker will be able to help you save hundreds of thousands of dollars because of, structuring deals, which is what we love. We are deal makers, right? And how we can help our clients save money as well. What about seller stamp duty, Justin?
Yep. So seller stamp duty wise, you still fall with the 1284, right? That you have in the residential
Components.
Components in the residential market, right? When you have a seller stamp duty applicable. So it happens especially when it happens both for the HDB shop house as we touched on the previous time, as well as even if let's say you are buying a shop house with a land zone, commercial and residential, you need to incur this if you flip it within the 3 years mark.
Yes, and I believe that the SSD is only attributed to the residential component of the property, right? Yeah, based on valuation. So I have a question. So there are some clients who want to increase the value of the shop houses. So they bang it by they bang on the fact that currently now it's a commercial resi, and they will write into URA to apply it to be a fully commercial, site, so that there is no SSD or ABSD for the next buyer or even for themselves for SSD for the residential component. So based on your expertise and experience, right, what are the chances of success?
Low, very low.
Very, very low, right?
Yeah.
And I think the reason behind that is because, the government don't want you to adjust the master plan as and when you want to do it lah.
Yeah.
Are there successful cases? I believe there are so, but one in a few thousands lah, right? Okay, so please don't bang on that. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about the pros and cons of commercial shop houses, right? So what are the pros?
So the pros of commercial shop house, to summarize, right?
Yes.
Is that foreigners and PR can purchase if it's a fully commercial shop house, right? There is no ABSD and SSD on the commercial portion.
Beautiful.
Right. So the third one is that it has limited supply. So limited supply, government not releasing new supply. This means that there is a relatively higher potential for capital appreciation, right, compared to other asset classes.
Yes, and the history, right, heritage, right, that you see.
And lastly, right, to own an asset with rich history and heritage.
So shop houses are the ones who have survived the World War II. Yeah. Some of it, right? And they have witnessed the atrocities of World War II that happened in Singapore. If today you can talk to a shop house, it's not a question, but I'm just saying that, can you imagine you can talk to a shop house today? Shop house can share with you everything that happened on the street, right? It's quite beautiful. And I think that is the art portion. That's the historical significance of the shop house, right? recently the capital markets team almost entered into a joint investment with one of our clients for a particular shophouse, a primary conserved shophouse, right, in Chinatown area. And, after running through the numbers, it was even possible, right, to earn $1 million or $2 million within 6 months of 12 months of marketing and selling. So that's when I understood the allure of commercial shophouses, right? What about the cons? There must be cons, right?
Yeah. So, the cons of shophouse is that it's more costly, definitely. As much as you say, you can earn $1 million or $2 million, but I think the investment wise is more costly compared to other commercial asset classes or residential asset classes because it's limited in supply.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's only available in the resale market.
Yep.
So,
no new brand new.
Yeah. So it's up to the owner that wants to sell.
Yeah.
What price he wants.
Yeah.
So actually, if we look back at the chart, back then, previously, right, that the one I showed, we also can see that actually the volume has decreased quite a bit in the more recent years.
Yeah, the volume of transactions have decreased, right? And the fun thing here is that Asia Pacific wise, there are a lot of countries who are also selling a lot of their shophouses and they're making a lot of money as well, right? I think till date in Asia specifically, right, there was already 371 billion in terms of commercial shophouses and commercial deals that have been done globally as well. So it's interesting to see that, right? And what about the limited usage of shophouses in certain areas?
Yeah, so some of the cons is that because of the, let's say, traffic problem or government regulation wise, they will limit the usage of the shophouse.
Yep.
So although it might be a commercial shophouse, but they might be restricted by certain usage. Let's say, for example, in Geylang area, they will not have any more eating houses or restaurants in the area due to parking issues.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are some things that you will need to take note
Yes.
right, when investing in a shophouse.
I hear you on that. Thank you so much for sharing today.
Yep.
I have one last question, right?
Yep.
Which is your favorite shophouse area in Singapore? No more animals this session.
This is a very difficult question.
Yeah, because Justin himself is a foodie and he enjoys going to shophouses to explore food. And I believe that, every time you see him in the shophouse, right, he'll start talking to the owner, or you get to understand a bit more about it. So I think it's a hard question for you because you cannot make a decision about So maybe give us like a top few choices or maybe something that
top
you really
few
love.
choices. I think you still will be the District 1 shophouses we have at the Greater Aya area.
Yes, Amoy.
Yeah.
Stanley is there as well.
Yeah.
Ann Siang Club Street.
Yeah, because these are areas with really rich history and heritage, right?
And these are the most expensive shophouses and the richest man shophouses in the area as well. True to the price.
Yeah, so it's more of like, exploring the area as well as the rich heritage behind that area. So I think that would be like my favorite.
Yeah. Similarly, I like Amoy. I think Amoy Street brings you a lot of this. It's like you can see a juxtaposition between modernity and the culture and heritage in the past. It's like you see a very beautiful concept shophouse, and then inside is like a very futuristic company or a tech company inside. And I really love that. And I love Club Street. And Club Street is like an expat place, right? And fun fact, in Club Street, there's even this particular development that is right inside called Emerald Hill. Not Emerald Hill, Emerald Garden. And it's so interesting. If you walk past it, you wouldn't see. If you're drunk, you walk past, you wouldn't see it. But there is this development inside that has been making a lot of good money as well, right? And true enough, right? We are common in the thing that we like, and similarly, a lot of shophouse owners love the areas as well because there's very high footfall with the new Fraser's Tower there, and you're seeing that a lot of F&Bs that are doing really well now, right? The Korean food there in Amoy Street has been there for long, and they have built a lot of multiple chains. I talked to the bosses there. The bosses tell me they're looking to expand because every successful business venture allows them to buy over the shophouse, and that actually makes way more money than the business venture itself. So interesting, right? So any last thoughts about conservation shophouses?
Yeah, for some of you watching who might be, new to this market, right? So it's very important, right, to consult someone that is professional or expert to help you do your due diligence, right, before even committing to a purchase like that.
Absolutely. So I think that entire team constitutes lawyers, bankers, proper valuers. So one fun fact is that not all banks will be able to give you the accurate valuation of a commercial shop house. You need a commercial valuer, right? Not even a commercial bank, a commercial valuer, right? And of course, a broker that can help you do deal structuring so that you can save some money as well. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Singapore's Real Estate Explained. And this episode, we talked to our capital markets team, commercial lead, about the commercial market in Singapore, right? So if you are a first-time buyer interested to dabble into commercial investments, right? You can always contact us right here. This is the number, right? And we also have our Telegram group chat where all of these videos will be sent in as well. I think today we have 1,000 plus. So thank you so much for joining this Telegram group chat. We really appreciate you. And this is the end of the video. So this is Jervis.
This is Justin.
And we'll see you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.